but Gotham City needs me.
It almost seems like they made some improvements on how he fights, because it has to be slower than Nightwing and, let's say, Robin. His fighting style is more about immediate hard strikes compared to, let's say, aerobatic attacks. So the fact that he relies heavily on his gun and, like, heavy attacks makes sense and it checks out. I have to admit, though, whenever he pulled out that gun and it started to glow, I'm like, if he's going to do a Kamehameha, I'm going to be super pissed. And it's almost close to that.
I think that is true. I don't think they have a plan for Red Hood in terms of, like you said, Robin, Nightwing, and Batgirl. They have their unique fighting styles, and it's like, well, give him non-lethal bullets. That's not his thing. So they gotta go out their way because of the handicap they put on their self, and they give him magic Kamehameha homing bullets, even farther out of spec than teleportation that Robin has.
That I can definitely understand. And you're right, considering that Red Hood is a more violent and more permanent character, I can also see why that would have been a problem if they kept that. The idea of an actual lethal attack. Okay, why would I play as anybody else? Boom, boom, done. We don't have to worry about his back. That's not how we do it. This is how we get to the end point. This is how we solve the problem. And to kind of change it up, I understand why they switched over to the non-lethal to kind of make it more believable why a gunshot wouldn't instantly kill somebody. and to show the idea of, okay, the Red Hood is actually, because of Batman's death, has agreed to, okay, I won't be as lethal as I was before. Now, the mystical stuff, that is really interesting, considering that in the comic books, he did come from, he died and came back through the Lazarus pit. And because of that, not that he was given powers, but, he does have certain stronger abilities, a higher healing factor. He is slightly stronger than the rest of the Bat family. But to be able to give him, as you say, magical bullets, it does kind of seem like bullshit.
I believe the Red Hood and Injustice 2 has a unique mixed fighting style, and I hope they kind of blend that together here. He uses guns a lot, but not all his, he throws strong, like you said, hard strikes. He do combos with the guns. It's not just walk up to the guy, shoot him 3 times, and kick him in the chest. It's he jumps around, he dives, let him shoot, dodge, do all the stuff, do the grenade combination, his super move. I believe that was a good mix for a character who I was just introduced to. I'm he's pretty cool. I like this guy.
I hope they have techniques to Red Hood saying that. I understand why they can't have a grenade be thrown unless it's one of those, okay, we're going to throw a spirit grenade. And even that still sounds weak. Whereas in here, we're literally just fighting regular people. We can't just kill them. Or we can't have, the character question their moral standing at every point, where the point... You've seen the memes where, Batman doesn't kill, but he's hanging people from rafters and shit. That should kill them. I think they're trying to find a way to step back from that extreme and still be able to allow the fun.
And I think that's one of the bigger issues. It's not that he's firing non-lethal bullets, because you can say, they're rubber bullets, fair enough. But it was one of the lines in the initial trailer that he was firing non-lethal armor-piercing bullets. And everybody what? What anime bullshit are you on?
This is how they shoot themselves in the foot.
So now you got armored enemies, and he got to fire non-lethal armored bullets, and it was non-lethal armored piercing magic bullets, and you're like, are we playing Outriders? Which are completely lethal, but
Yeah.
So it becomes one of those things.
So seeing all of that, I feel that with a character like the Red Hood, it does seem like a pretty difficult thing to kind of try to kind of give a character who, okay, I kill bad guys, I don't give them the choice to surrender, and try to balance that with true believers of the Bat family. They truly believe in Batman's, we don't kill people because that makes us that much worse. Whereas I think in this one, and I'm hoping that they actually follow suit with this, they're trying to give him more of an arc that shows, okay, I see Batman's way only is better than mine, because the permanent solution is killing, but if everybody dies, then no one wins. And because of that, I can understand where they want to go. However, the wording, like you said, when you go, non-lethal, armor-piercing, magical bullets, it's kind of okay, let's mix more words that don't work well together. But the fighting style does seem nice. It seems a little bit more fluid than what we were seeing before. The graphics still look pretty good. the potential story, I'm very interested to see if every individual character, being Batwoman, Red Hood, Robin, and Nightwing, have their own individual stories, and they go their own individual path of growth. That would also kind of add to the character gameplay and everything else. My biggest concern is what they're not showing us. And I think I mentioned this before whenever we've seen these quote-unquote gameplay trailers. It's not like the demo. The demo showed us actual live gameplay, and we're able to see things in real time, rather than, oh, the camera's right here, slow motion here, zoom in here, zoom out here. That's all nice and flashy, but to watch actual gameplay in the moment is something that I would like to see more of. I do believe they're not showing us that because they know that we're going to be more critical of that, and then whenever the game actually releases in October, we will see how much of the promise that they promise is actually going to be produced. At least that's what I think. It looks interesting. It looks cool. I'm still definitely going to keep playing as Red Hood. But like, if they're able to find a way to kind of rectify what they said, less of the silliness, to make it more believable, then that's great.
Here's what Black Widow had that I hope Red Hood might not have, which is weird, because this is going to come up. If he always holds his pistols, are they going to nerf the range of his guns, because like those are his quote-unquote punches? Whereas Black Widow is like, yo, I hit that guy across the screen because I shot him. That's, some games are like, oh, the bullet disappeared, so it went 3 feet. And you're going to be like, so mad. Like, then let me put the gun away. Or let me bring the gun out when I need to shoot somebody across the way. If it's going to be like, oh, there's a guy near you, and he's 10 feet away, it's like, yeah, your bullet didn't hit him. You got to use the magic bullet. And it's like,
I understand what you mean with the idea of realism, because like, oh, it's a gun. Very few people could just stand up to a gun. But if that was the case, why would anybody pick anybody else? So you kind of have to nerf that so everybody's kind of on the same playing field. So like, I can see that they might do that and why they would do that, but I do get what you mean.
Even in games like Breakpoint and Avengers, since I played both of those, and Black Widow is my favorite character, when I shoot somebody, the bullet travels at a good distance. It's not like, yo, you can hit him down the street, but if he's at the other side of the room, he gets hit. And my guns do more damage. That's the power up. Breakpoint, even if I had low-level guns, if I had a sniper rifle, I could still snipe from the top of a mountain. It won't do much damage to the dude.
But the bullet will still reach there.
Yeah, so the problem is, are you going to be handicapped playing Red Hood when everybody else could just throw unlimited batarangs to hit somebody at a distance? And you'd be like, oh, you got to get closer to hit him with your gun. Because it's a melee-focused game, but they picked a guy with 2 pistols. Fair enough. And like you said, they're going to have to handicap him. It's like, but like you said, his fighting style and his motivations are completely different than him. He's more of like the anti-hero type dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's going to feel super weird if it's like, so that guy was 2 inches to the left and your bullet missed him when you pressed X to start your combo. And if that's the case, it's going to be rough. But I understand what you're saying. It's part of the story, and they need to do that.
But yeah, I do believe that with the 4 characters that they have, it's very distinct, it's very unique, and it's kind of like, hopefully it is going to be unique enough where you can feel the difference rather than just like see it.
I'm going to call it right now. Robin and Batgirl is going to be the best 2 characters in the game. Robin can teleport, so I expect teleportation to be mixed into his attacks. Like in Avengers, when you get the teleportation with Kate Bishop and stuff, like if he gets half of those abilities, one of the better characters. I think Batgirl is going to be the most well-rounded, so she'll have something for everything, and she might be fast, slightly faster than everybody else. Nightwing's going to be fast. He has to be fast, but that means he might be weaker than everybody else on the team.
I can definitely see that. I can see that being a thing. Because certainly, like you said, there are 4 of them, and 3 of them are very closely. Like, we beat people up very close to each other's abilities. You need something with Nightwing, and maybe I don't know. With Nightwing, we're gonna definitely have to see what they plan to do with him. I'm more worried about Nightwing than I am about anybody else. I'm more worried about, okay, now that you have these 3 people who are very distinct in their ways, what does he bring to the table that's different from everybody else? So we'll definitely see on that.
That's why I said Nightwing would be the last. He's going to be by far the worst. Because you're like, well, Robin teleports. When you get around the city, you can teleport. And when you activate the teleport, you move a cursor for like 15 seconds until you choose to come down. You know how much distance you could cover in 15 seconds? Just constantly teleporting around the city to get around? Batgirl has the normal grappling hook.
Yeah.
Robin has literal teleportation from a space satellite. My man came back from the dead with powers of the dead, and he gets a mystic double jump, and the other dude like, yeah, I'll meet you on the other side of the building. It's going to be interesting. I think Nightwing's going to be the worst, though. I do agree with you. I think he's going to be done the worst. Like, he's going to be so basic that it's going to be boring. And
that no one would want to play him because he is average compared to the others. But that should be the time that we have for today on that one. I think we're done here. So, like, bye, guys.
Catch y'all later.